Have you been going out on walks more in your neighborhood? Maybe the same path over and over again? Because, well, that's all we're allowed to do right now. One of the things, at the beginning of this season, of this period of being in COVID, there was it was remarkable to be able to go out and see beauty outside, right? I'm stuck in this place and I can't do my normal routine, but man, those tulips are gorgeous, and the daffodils and the cherry blossoms, right? We found all of these silver linings, all of these moments of beauty in this darkest of time. We showed it, this has showed up a lot, like lots of people doing musical parodies. And like I said, these silver linings. I have a Voxer group that we were sharing every day about our silver linings. What are the good things that we can see with this? Maybe you've noticed, like those tulips, who are no longer bright and shiny, but all their petals are wilting away and falling off, that some of this brightness and energy and finding the silver linings is feeling very pushed and forced. It's like this forced march to find something good, and it's sort of exhausting after a while. We're going into, or we are in, this new season, a different season, which I like to describe as the green growing season. The faith community that I'm a part of, a Christian-based faith community, we're coming up into the liturgical year, which is the church calendar year, that is the regular season or the green growing season. And it's the longest, biggest part of the year. And in many ways, I think this is probably the hardest time to actually be in. I was listening to this great podcast that I love to listen to. It's hosted by Melina Palmer, and it's called The Brainy Business. And she talks about the science of how our brain works, and she applies it to business and marketing. And she had a great episode recently that fits in with this so well. And she was talking about how, as a customer, we remember two parts of our experience. We remember the high, the wow factor part of the experience, and we remember the end. And this is kind of how people judge an experience, like going out to eat, or she has lots of different business examples in there. This is perfect for this conversation in that when we first went into this, we're looking at the wow factor. Let's pull ourselves through with the wow. But in that experience, in our life experience, our brain only holds on to these 2 points. But there's all these other points that have to go into it. You can't have a wow experience and an end experience without having this long green growing experience as well. And because our brains are wired to look for these 2 kind of points, this is why I think this kind of slow moving into the regularness, the filling in, can be the hardest, because we want those popping wow experiences and a grand finale to move on to something else. But the truth is, we need this rich, deep time as well. I see this with our swimming students. When they take a class, they have lots of wow moments. And, like one really big wow moment is, I cannot believe I jumped into the deep water, lived to tell it, laughed about it, had an amazing time. This is like really stands out for people as one of the things they never ever thought that they would do. And they're amazed with themselves. And they finish the course just feeling so great with their camaraderie, with their fellow students, so proud of themselves. They can't believe this. They did this whole unbelievable amount of change and growth, and they feel terrific coming out of it. But then they are, just like we are here, going into that green growing experience. How do I find new normalcy after this wow and change, this big change, that I need to have time and allow myself this grace, this opening to develop, to let things learn and to sink in, and not always just be looking for that pop. Because the truth is, we have this big, long green time. I invite you to really embrace with that and to not resist in that, and to just notice, yeah, this is how it works. It's okay that there's this lull here. This is just how life works, how the human experience works. So while I'm not hearing so much from my Voxer silver lining group anymore, it's not as frequent. The tulips are all losing their petals or have lost their petals. But the green of the trees is filling in. The depth is filling in. I'm finding my new me, my new inner compass, my new growing time. When I go out on those walks and the lushness of the season starts to fill in, slowly but surely, I can still find tiny new flowers that are coming out. They're not as audacious as the tulips, but they're there. And there's these smaller times and these smaller rewards that are part of this green growing time. You're doing an amazing job. You're doing a great job leading your life, finding the happiness and joy, letting the regular be regular. It's okay. We will find those tiny flowers popping out. I even have one for you. If you're a member with us, you have gotten an announcement that we're having a tiny little opening, a tiny little reopening, which is coming in the form of people being able to use a private pool just to themselves, maintaining that physical distancing. We're not quite in the time of close-up one-to-one teaching, but to be able to just have a space to yourself to learn and develop and open up a little bit. So we'd love to see you over there. If you want more information, come over into the membership, shoot me an email. There is these pops of little color out there. Keep looking for them. Take care.